What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Jose here at the First Round By Podcast, accompanied by my boy, Mr. Sauce.
What is up, everyone? So, welcome, one and all, to episode 23. Again, we took a little bit of a break.
Unintentionally, just life happens, and we'd like to be more consistent with it, but, sometimes it just
shit
is
happens.
what it is.
Shit happens, but we are back, and it is now time for the NFL offseason.
I mean, it's been time like 4 weeks ago.
It has. And honestly, just a forewarning, this episode is going to be a little bit longer. So if you guys stick with us, we definitely appreciate it. And you won't want to miss what we're talking about, because if you guys have been following the NFL, I mean, even if we aren't recording, we're still following the NFL. Mm-hmm. We talk about it all the time. But I'm looking at my talking points, and we have there's a shit ton of stuff. So it's going to be a good day. It's a great day to talk about football. We've got a lot to unravel, so we'll start off. So starting off, the biggest news so far, the first news that we saw in the offseason, Russell Wilson traded to the Broncos. Unbelievable. That instantly makes them contenders. Mm-hmm. They were literally pretty much just a quarterback away.
Yeah.
I mean, their defense really stepped up even whenever they traded away Von Miller and everything. Their defense started playing insane. They've got a lot of good pieces in the offensive line. They're skill players. So Russell Wilson, he's going from DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett to Jerry Jeudy,
Sutton. Shoot. Who else? They traded away Fant. Noah Fant.
Yes.
Font.
Well, that plus, I can't really name off a whole bunch of the Broncos players, but one thing I do know is that they are very young and very talented. And a lot of people, a lot of the talking heads and everything, they were saying that pretty much the Broncos were a quarterback away. And whenever it was first being talked about of Aaron Rodgers leaving Green Bay, everybody was pointing to Aaron Rodgers going to the Broncos. And if Aaron Rodgers went to the Broncos, instant contenders. Mm-hmm. But it blew my mind. It's actually kind of funny because one of our resident friends who is a Broncos fan, Matt, I asked him about it. I was like, hey, man, that's crazy, right? Broncos, Russell Wilson. He was like, I'm not happy about it.
What? I think
he doesn't like his style. So he's not a fan of the mobile quarterback, I'm guessing.
Because he's not even like a run first type of quarterback. He's not like Lamar Jackson or like a Kyler Murray.
He isn't.
He only runs when it's necessary, and he always makes good decisions when he runs, I think.
No, I agree. I mean, he doesn't run as much now.
If I'm correct, I don't think he's missed a game. Or he might have this past season, but before that, he had never missed a game.
Yeah,
he's really healthy.
He is. So, and the best of ability is availability.
Exactly.
And everything. So it's going to be really interesting seeing him in a Broncos uniform.
It is. It's going to be weird.
Sure. But also obviously, they paid a huge bounty to get Russell Wilson.
Do you have the deets on that?
I don't, but I want to say that there's at least
I got them
two first-round picks, right?
So, Seahawks receive Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, two first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th-round pick.
God.
And then the Broncos receive Russell Wilson and a 4th-round pick.
Wow.
To be honest with you, I think the Seahawks actually won that trade.
Yeah.
Because even if, in my opinion, if the Seahawks would have kept Russell Wilson, I don't think they pretty much would have did what they did last year.
Yep.
They might have made the playoffs, but I don't think they would have made any noise.
No.
Yeah.
No, they're definitely in rebuild mode.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think that possibly, one of DK or Tyler Lockett, one of them might be on the move too soon.
I saw something earlier today, I think it was, that I think teams are starting to ask about Tyler Lockett.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a phenomenal player. We've talked about this before. Usually each year in fantasy, I do my best to try to draft him because one of either he or DK usually just goes off on a game. He's kind of inconsistent in fantasy, but he's also one of Russell Wilson's favorite targets. He's definitely, I would say he's a number one wide receiver. On his worst day, he's probably a really good number two, but he could be a number one wide receiver somewhere, and he could make some good money, and he could make another team a huge contender. Mm-hmm. I definitely wouldn't mind the Titans grabbing him for sure.
Yeah,
we could always use some more weapons. But anyway, so moving on. How about, okay, so the AFC West, they are getting loaded.
Yeah.
That fucking division is just nasty. Khalil Mack teaming up with Joey Bosa. Or Nick Bosa. Joey. Yeah, Joey.
Yeah.
I always get confused whenever brothers are playing in the NFL. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, I mean, but the Chargers needed it. So, what do you have the compensation?
I think it was like, and I'm not 100% on this, but it was like a second rounder and like a fifth rounder or something.
Wow.
It was fair. It was pretty cheap, man. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I feel like the Chargers, I feel like they kind of panicked with Russell Wilson coming into town.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, oh shit, we got Russell Wilson, we got freaking Patrick Mahomes. No disrespect, Derek Carr.
No, all the disrespect.
No, but I think the Chargers, they knew. I mean, look at their division. Like we just said, they knew they had to do something. So they brought in Khalil Mack to kind of bolster up that defense. And I think it's a good move because they got him for cheap. I think a second rounder and a fifth rounder, I think it was.
And I mean, he's getting up there in age a little bit, but he can still play.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then obviously you got Bosa on the other side, which is... It's absolutely nasty. They're going to be getting after the quarterback.
Yeah.
So Mahomes, Wilson, and if they keep Derek Carr, then Derek Carr on notice.
Well, here's the thing, and this is off topic, but I'm just real quick, because now they got Josh McDaniels as their head coach. The Raiders, I don't think he's going to keep Carr. I think they're going to have a new quarterback coming into this season.
You think so?
I think so.
Do you think it's going to be a draft choice, or do you think it's going to be a free agent?
You know what? Let me rewind that. By the middle of the season, I think they'll have a new quarterback.
Interesting. Okay.
All right.
Okay. I can see that.
By the middle of the season.
Because Derek Carr is one of those kind of like Kirk Cousins type. That's kind of like middling. Like he'll go off for a game or two, but for the most part, he's dog shit.
I mean, you know me. I don't like it.
He's just not very flashy.
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything.
And he's been in the league for a while, so you can't sit there and say, "Oh, maybe next year he'll pop off." Like, he's been in the league for a while. Like,
he has.
You know what I mean?
But also, moving on, because, of course, the original quarterback that was going to be rumored to be going to the Denver Broncos or even the Steelers or
the
whoever.
Colts or anybody else.
Literally anybody else. Aaron Rodgers is staying in Green Bay.
Dude, I honestly thought he was out. The way that he made it seem last offseason going into this past season.
He did not seem happy.
He didn't seem happy, and he made it known that he wasn't happy and that, I thought that this was his last year, especially the way that they went out.
Oh, yeah. No, I completely agree. I thought that because of the fact that he shit the bed in the NFC title game, for whatever reason, I can't even remember what the NFC title game looked like.
I can't either, dude. I think they played the 49ers, right?
Wait, no. That was the divisional round.
They played the 49ers?
Yeah, they played the 49ers in the divisional round. At home. They shit the bed just like the Titans did.
Ripperooskies.
Which, I mean, but you got Aaron Rodgers staying. They franchised Devontae Adams and everything, so they're keeping the band together.
They're going to be good again.
They are. From what I was reading and hearing, and just in passing, because obviously at work we got ESPN playing all the time. Whenever I was in passing, one of the talking heads was talking about how, I guess, behind closed doors and away from the media and everything, over the course of the season, last season, the not the owners, but like because I want to say the city of Green Bay or whatever, they all have part ownership of the franchise. But I want to say that one of the controlling owners or something like that, or the GM, was talking to Aaron Rodgers and trying to mend that connection, which, I mean, it's a smart idea. I mean, you got a first ballot Hall of Famer at quarterback, and everything. So you want to do everything you can to keep him happy and whatnot, and keep him around. But I don't know about the contract though.
Have they released it yet? Because I know whenever the news broke, they were reporting it that it was like 4 years, 200 million. I think it was like supposedly like 145 million guaranteed or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then later that day, I think you had mentioned it to me, and I also saw around that what do you call it? That contract wasn't even like confirmed. And
yeah,
the
I think he
details-
was even saying that because I think that Aaron Rodgers actually tweeted out or something saying that
he was
staying, but that wasn't the contract.
Right. So
I'd be interested to see what the contract is if it did change.
Right.
Or whatever. But yeah, so Aaron Rodgers is staying in Green Bay, as is Devontae Adams. So the NFC is going to be still pretty stout over there. But also another NFC team that got bolstered this.
I don't know about both.
Do you like that segue though?
Let's get it.
Carson fucking Wentz.
Where to?
Going to the Commanders. So we obviously that boring ass news broke whenever we were kind of, for lack of a better term, I'm going to say taking a break, but we weren't really taking a break. We got busy. But if you've been living under a rock, the Washington football team is now the Washington Commanders. And they've got Commander Carson.
Dude, something cool I'm actually looking forward to is the Commanders. I think they play the Colts and they play the
Philly.
They play Philly.
Yeah, because the same division.
Right. Twice. So
dude, it's gonna be so great.
It's gonna be exciting. Like for Carson, really. Like I'm excited. I'm gonna watch those games for sure if they're being aired. Or I'll just stream them. But it's gonna be exciting, man. Like I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. The craziest part about that is just that the Commanders are taking on the entire contract, the full 28 mil.
Is it just for a year?
I think it is just for a year.
Damn. I mean, but to be fair, man, like Carson Wentz, I mean,
whenever he's on, he's fucking on.
Well, because he's always freaking injured, right? But whenever he's not injured, I mean, he's a pretty good quarterback. But I'm also kind of disappointed though, because if I'm correct, I think he played every game last year. Started.
Yep.
Right.
And he played like shit.
And they didn't even make the playoffs. And he had that O-line. He had JT. He had that defense. Like, he should have at least pushed them into the playoffs. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see what he will do with the Colts. They do got, Terry and...
You mean the Commanders?
Yeah, the Commanders, they got Terry and who's their running back? Gibson and...
Yeah.
And
they've got some pieces.
They got some pretty good pieces. And honestly, I feel like this will be... And obviously... From what I can remember, this will be their better quarterback that they've had since I can remember.
Yep.
So, I mean, it'll be exciting and interesting to see how he does with them,
Did you see that the Commanders actually... It's so weird calling them Commanders.
Yeah.
But did you see that they actually inquired about Pat Mahomes?
I did, actually. I think they... I saw some crap like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also saw a couple memes that were like further degrading like their choice.
Yeah.
Because they asked for Pat Mahomes and now they end up getting Carson Wentz.
Yeah. I did see somewhere too that they asked about Russell Wilson. I think they offered him a better deal than what the Broncos offered him. But apparently they didn't want him like in the NFC, or they didn't want to trade Russell Wilson to another NFC team.
Correct. That's usually how it goes too.
So, yeah, I mean, imagine that. I would have felt so bad for Wilson had he gone to the Commanders.
I know.
You know what I mean? Because his freaking career would have been over.
I know, man. So, tell me real quick, what do you think about the Commanders name?
I think it's terrible. It's like a generic Madden name. Like, if you just hop onto Madden and you, like, create my own team.
Yep.
Like, that's, if you hit, like, randomize, that's, like, the first name that'll pop up. Like, if I was a fan of Washington, I would not be.
Yeah.
I would, like, pull my name out and go to a different freaking team.
I think that, I want to say that a lot of the people, they were, whenever they, because they asked the city and they asked the fans, like, what they
bullshit.
thought.
They didn't ask nobody nothing.
And whenever they asked them, I think two of the biggest ones that they wanted was like, it was Red Wolves. No, it was Red Wolves, Red Hogs, or Red Tails.
Those are all better options.
I would have loved Red Tails.
Yeah, that's cool.
I would have thought that was dope. But I would say my biggest frustration with the fact that they wasn't even the fact they went with Commanders. It's the fact that they kept that same generic, boring ass logo and everything.
Oh,
They didn't change anything.
Yeah, everything about that team, no disrespect, is just whack. Like the colors are whack, the jersey colors, like I don't know. I'm sorry, guys.
They had so much potential to modernize things with this name change, but also on a side note, how funny would it be if Wentz went over there and just played like his MVP self, his former MVP self?
I wouldn't be surprised.
What would that say about the Colts organization?
They fucked up. Well, because who do the Colts have now? Are they going to draft somebody? Are they going to trade for somebody?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I did see them being linked a lot to Jimmy G and everything. Oh,
I don't like that.
You'll love this one even worse, or hate this one even worse. Apparently, last year before they got Carson Wentz, I think it was last year that they got Carson Wentz. They were actually very high on Marcus Mariota.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that like for real?
Like for real, dude.
Jeez.
But I don't know who would have been better between Mariota and Wentz, because Wentz played. He played okay at times, but for the most part, he was pretty much dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of lost hope in Mariota. Like, I mean, I think he's a solid backup, and he'll win you a game or two if need be. You know, if someone goes out, but I don't think he'll lead you to like a Super Bowl or anything like that.
Hell no. And he used to be one of my. I really liked him whenever he played for the Titans, but.
I mean, I followed him when he was in Oregon.
Oh yeah,
I followed him heavily.
He was exciting.
Yeah, he was a good quarterback in college, and I was really happy for him.
Now he just sucks ass. All right, so another couple of things that are kind of smaller, but not really. Longtime Seahawk got released. Oh, Bobby Wagner.
Oh, and get this, you probably already know, but maybe our listeners don't. Bobby Wagner and Russell Wilson both arrived at the Seahawks the same day and got traded or released on the same day. That's crazy, nuts. Right? That's crazy.
That is absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
I saw also, I don't know if maybe you shared it or maybe I just randomly saw it on on one of those pages that I follow. Apparently, Bobby Wagner, he was a little pissed because he was a Seahawk for 10 years, and guess what he found out about being released? Twitter. Yep.
Yikes.
And so obviously he was a little pissed about that because he was like, I mean, what the fuck? But at the same time, in this information age, like with social media and everything, it's literally like we could be talking about it and literally just like that, all of a sudden that news is out there and everybody knows. So now, do I think that they should have probably told him in private or something?
Of course.
It's up to them. I mean, it's a business at the end of the day.
Still, though, you know, like I feel like out of respect, after everything he's done for that 100%. Organization, like you tell him personally, you know, you thank him and send him away or release him, whatever.
And then another possibility, Amari Cooper.
But hold on, Bobby Wagner. You know, I'd love to see him on the Pats.
Of course you would.
No, because we just released Kyle Van Noy. Dante Hightower.
That would be a pretty good fit.
Yeah, Dante Hightower is getting old. He's not the same Hightower he was before. So we just got Matthew Judon. That's really the only one that I'm excited about still. So
I think he only got released because he was making a lot of money. He was making a ton of money, and I don't know if they could justify it with like I say this, but it's like declining play. I mean, obviously he's not a spring chicken anymore, so
yeah.
I didn't even get a kick out of that one. Me and my sayings.
But yeah. So Amari Cooper. I've been seeing a lot of talks of him being like traded, or I don't know what his situation is. If it's like released or traded or what.
I definitely do think they're gonna move on from him.
Well, because I was also reading, like I said, I was reading a lot, and a lot of people are saying the only reason they're having to do that is because they're paying Zeke a ton of money and they can't afford to keep Coop.
Then you restructure Zeke or release his ass.
Well, I guess they're going with releasing Coop.
That's fucking dumb.
I think
that's dumb. They need to put the ball more into Dak's hands.
Well, because I don't know what the situation is exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can't.
But I guess in my opinion,
You mean Cooper Sands? You said Dak Sands.
Well, yeah, but so if they release Coop, then that means that they're hurting the receiving core.
Yeah,
and everything. But yeah, and I still don't trust Zeke all the time. I think Tony Pollard is great. He's still with them though, right?
Yeah, he's still with them.
But yeah, so and who else does Dallas have? They've got Gallup.
They got Michael Gallup. Well, I think he might be a free agent.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but
He also got injured.
Mm-hmm.
So
Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Cedric Wilson, Amari Cooper. They got a pretty solid receiving core, and then they got Schultz and Jarwin for tight end.
That's not bad.
They got a good team, man.
My guess, though, is that if they do release him or trade him or whatever, then they're probably going to go for a wide receiver super early in the draft.
They got many receivers. I don't think they would. But that's also a very Dallas thing to do.
Well, that plus, I mean, if you release Coop and then you don't know how long it's going to take Gallup to get more acclimated, so then you're already down 2 receivers and everything. But
I personally don't think they draft a receiver, but I'm not saying it's not a possibility.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, plus this receiver class, I think that it's a pretty decent one. I know it's deep, and so is the tight end class.
Yeah,
and everything. So
I feel like the quarterback class is kind of garbage.
Dude, it's so bad.
Watch it ends up being one of the better ones.
Man, I don't know. I've seen a lot of people talking about that, but I mean, yeah, we'll talk about the draft later.
Yeah.
I
mean, we're like a month or 2 away.
Yeah, it's in April, I think.
April.
Man, that's crazy. That's already so close. But that's one of my favorite times is draft time. So I geek out over that. But also, what about, so C-Mac, he's being shopped by the Panthers.
Man, that's kind of like...
It's going to be tough to unload him.
I think there's definitely teams interested in him. It's just, what are you willing to give up for the guy? Because
you know what their asking price is?
Injury. What is it?
A first, at least.
At least. That's tough. Like, I can...
First plus that contract?
What's the contract?
It's like 14 or 15 mil.
For how many years?
Just for this next year.
Just for next year. I mean, man, it's kind of weird. I don't know. Like, if I was a team that wasn't necessarily, like, in contention, I'd maybe roll the dice on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if I was a team that was, like, in contention, like maybe a Green Bay team or the Chiefs, I wouldn't do it, right? You got too much to lose.
Plus, you don't want to eat that contract. That contract's nasty.
Maybe if you were like a team like the Commanders, that's such a Commanders thing to do.
Yeah, except they're eating that 28 mil from fucking Wentz. So I don't know. Yeah. Who knows though?
Yeah.
But no, they've got too much. They got too many young studs out there for in running back. I don't know if I think the Patriots gonna have Wow, sorry. I think the Panthers are gonna have to lower down that asking price and potentially. I mean, they're not gonna get the return that they want. I mean, C-Mac's been injured for
2 years straight.
Yeah.
I think maybe 3.
And although he's got good utility, like how much has he broken down from the injuries and everything? He's a solid player, amazing running back and everything. But I mean, plus he's getting close. I think he's like 26, 27.
I mean, he's young. I think you're right. I think he's like around 26 or 27.
Yeah, so he's not old.
Yeah, it's just the injuries.
The injuries, it's buyer beware for sure. I don't even know who else would be interested in him.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
But with that being said, oh man, this is an interesting topic that we're going into. Mr. Deshaun Watson. Man, I still don't know how I feel about him. Man,
I mean, when healthy, he's definitely a top 5 quarterback.
Agreed.
When healthy, because I know there was one year I think he like tore his ACL, and then I think was it the last year that he played he was injured as well.
Yes, maybe he was playing while injured.
Yeah.
Yep.
But when healthy, definitely top 5 quarterback. And if you disagree with me,
you're probably wrong.
You're probably wrong. No, I'm serious. Top 5 quarterback when healthy.
100%.
I promise you.
Now, what about the off the field shit?
Off the field shit,
man,
crazy.
Such a damn headache.
But I mean, we saw earlier. I guess he had like some of his like lawsuits cleared.
Yeah, so his felony charges were dropped.
And
everything. So now he's just got what'd you call them?
I think it was like 11 civil lawsuits or some shit. So there might be some potential to him playing this year. Possibly.
Yeah. And there's from what I saw earlier, there was a few teams that are in the mix for him for sure, which it's kind of crazy to me that I guess maybe it means that I shouldn't be running an NFL team. But like if you've got all that shit off the field going on and stuff, man, it would make it so hard for me not just to pull the trigger, but to even think about the compensation that's going to come with that. I don't know how much it's going to affect the compensation, but I know that the Panthers were looking at him, the Saints, the Bucks.
Damn. The Steelers.
Steelers, yes.
Dude, I'd love to see him on the Steelers or the Colts.
Yeah, well,
or the Bucks. Holy shit. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin.
I think it's more likely that he's going to go to an NFC team, more than likely. But I have seen talks that have linked him to possibly the Browns.
The Browns, dude.
Get rid of Baker.
The Browns need to move on from Baker, I think, and because a lot of people can sit there and say, well, you know, Baker had a shoulder injury, Baker had this injury this past season.
I will 100% say that I was wrong about Baker. He's garbage.
Dude, I loved him in college. Yeah. He was a hell of a quarterback in college.
Yeah, he was.
NFL, I think it's time to move on for sure.
He's definitely not it. He doesn't make very good decisions. His arm isn't the greatest and everything.
He can't run the football. He every once in a while he'll like break away and make a good run play, but I don't know, like
can't trust him.
I can't. Yeah, you can't trust the guy.
He's inconsistent as all get out. And I know I got a bunch of Ohio friends that are gonna fucking ream me for that. But yeah, no, I'm sorry, but Baker's trash. And you guys are trash for thinking that he's good. I'm just kidding. You guys are great.
Damn, boy.
I'm a little feisty tonight.
Jesus.
It's been too long since we recorded, so I got the feisty aspect of me. But yeah, no, so who knows where Deshaun's gonna go, Deshaun Watson.
If he's even gonna get to play again.
Yeah.
Excuse that. I think my freaking voice just cracked. Holy shit. Anyways, I'm sorry.
But yeah, so let us know down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think. Do you guys think A, if he's gonna play? And B, where's he going to play? He's clearly not going to be playing with the Texans, right?
Yeah.
David Mills been playing really. He came on really well. That dude he's nasty.
Yeah, like,
he's got a good career ahead of him.
Is he? Does he? I thought he was kind of garbage.
Really?
I thought so. Or am I wrong?
No. Well, okay. So obviously he was a rookie and everything, but there was a few games that he was just playing lights out. Just absolutely, and throwing dimes.
I can't remember if it was against the Pats or who it was against, but I think he had like 4 interceptions or some shit.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, he's a rookie, but I think he's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, for sure. He's a rookie.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that in the next like 5 years he's going to be a top 5 quarterback, but he definitely has started potential and everything. So, but yeah, let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you guys think about all the crazy offseason moves so far. It's been relatively active.
You know what's crazy? Like going into the off season, I didn't think we were gonna like have much stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
I was kind of just like, shit, now what? But there's been a lot.
There has been a lot, and I'm sure that a lot more is coming up too, especially since we've got the NFL draft coming up and everything. I know I'm a big fan of the NFL draft. I don't watch a whole lot of college football anymore, but I still love being able to watch the combine. They recently just had the combine. I didn't get to check it out or anything or seeing any of the numbers and stuff, but I mean, it's the combine. But yeah, so there's a lot of intriguing things going on, especially in this off season. So, hey, I'm happy about it because kind of like what you said, I thought it was going to be maybe a boring off season and stuff, but it's never a boring off season.
Oh, there's always juiciness going on.
That's right. Ooh, juicy. Don't give me that look. But anyway, so with all that being said, Josie, my friend, do you have anything else for our lovely viewers?
My camera just went out, so I'm just gonna keep talking. You guys can stare at Sauce while I talk. I don't care.
Hey guys.
But no, I don't have anything. Apologize for the absence.
Yes.
We'll be back. We're back.
Absolutely. And with that being said, we've got some more content coming up because just because it is the off season doesn't mean that we stop. We actually have some more content coming up, and it might be a little bit different, but Who knows? Hopefully you guys will stick around and enjoy it. We know we love doing it, and we hope that you guys enjoy watching it and listening to it. But with that being said, you can check us out on all the streaming services. That would be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and the Tube. That's right. We will get everything updated as soon as we can. Yeah, give us some time. Yeah. But anyway, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.
Peace.